Hello and welcome to Full Tech Ahead. We're back, and today I'm excited to have Ofer Klein. He's the CEO of Reco. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Happy to have you on the show. Can you share a little bit about Reco and what services do y'all provide?
Reco is a AI-native SaaS security company. So basically, what we help companies with is implementing and securing the entire SaaS and AI layer. Effectively, every piece of software that you buy from the outside, it could be the big platforms like the Salesforce of the world, it could be the Gen AI, vibe coding, etc. Starting from discovery, what do you have? Governance and risk to understand what is the level of the risk and then help secure the entire external software and SaaS.
Awesome. Well, that's a good segue into our topic today, which is how AI is being embedded and integrated into everything, essentially hidden in plain sight everywhere, which causes some issues that business leaders need to be aware of. A lot of times embedded in all of our tools like Slack and Zoom and Salesforce and everywhere. So there is a widespread shadow AI problem, I would say, that business leaders don't quite know how to address. From your experience, what are some of those issues, and then what advice do you have?
What we've seen since the early days of ChatGPT launching, etc., we've seen basically two main waves. The first one was there is something AI out there, but I'm too afraid as security or IT to even utilize because there's a lot of risk and not a lot of value. It was about 10 to 12 months. And then when the value was starting to become bigger and bigger, then it was almost immediately the other way around, which means the business is using those tools that will make them superheroes. It could be for vibe coding, for marketing, for sales, for content, for anything effectively. And now the challenge for the security in IT is number one, I cannot block it because I'm going to get fired. This is the number one business enablement project in the company. And on the other hand, if we're going to get breached, then I'm to blame, and it's not so good for the company as well. So the friction between the business needs to utilize those amazing tools on one hand, and how can we make sure that we do it respectfully, we're doing it in a very secure and governed way. This is the biggest friction we see today in the market.
So a lot of times there are silent updates or tools and solutions that get integrated into different departments, and they may have AI in them. So can you explain this this process and how business leaders can ensure safety when it comes to the AI that they often may not even realize is there?
Yeah. So the number one element is to know what you don't know, meaning the discovery. And actually, internally, since we started the discovery, we used to call it the risk assessment meeting. Now we call it the oh shit meeting because we hear that term a lot with companies saying, how can I have 400 or 500 apps I didn't even know exist? And the reason is simple. There's a lot of value and you're basically blocking it. So they're just going around you. So the number one, how can I get visibility to everything that my people are using and everything the company is using? We call it the shadow AI and shadow SaaS. The number two, let's say we'll have a customer with 5,500 apps. We have the average is anywhere between 1 to 3,000 apps. Once I know what I have, now the next question is what is safe and what is risky compared to what the business needs. And then the number three is let's double down on a lot of apps. It used to be 20, 30 apps. Now we support more than 200 apps and we keep adding every 2 to 3 days. Now let's support what the business needs instead of blocking, supporting them, and then we can run much faster.
Well, there are some new laws, governing laws when it comes to AI, that I'm sure business leaders are wanting to make sure that they adhere to, especially EU's AI Act, etc. So, can you share a little bit about those enactments, and then how can business leaders make sure they're adhering to them?
Yeah, so the number one AI Act, you have pieces of that starting in the US as well. California and New York are leading the way, but you have other states and federal are talking about it as well. The number one use case is always know what you have and know where the biggest business impact is. So you have to know. Number two, you need to assess the risk. And number three, you need to show that you have done everything you can in order to support it. I'll give you an example. With the latest Salesforce drift breach, it was connected apps connected to Salesforce that got breached, and through them, the hackers got a lot of value. So it's not enough to say, I'm securing Salesforce, I'm blindfolded for everything else. It's not good enough anymore. You need to see the full picture, and the number one, including connected apps, you need to know. Then you need to have processes to be able to continuously understand the risk and reduce it. Configuration management, identity and access governance, detection and response, all of those fun stuff to be able to support the AI Act, the governing new rules, but effectively the new rules to protect your sensitive data at the era of AI.
Would it help? I feel like often there's still an issue with siloed departments. Would it help to have better communication still in companies and perhaps some sort of training programs in place? And what is your experience with that?
So I would like to say, yes, of course, that will solve the problem. Unfortunately, what we see in the market with hundreds of customers, it's not enough anymore. Because your employees are trying to do their best to move faster, better, and more effectively. And now I have a new shiny tool that just asks for some permissions, and I'm a business owner. I don't really know what these permissions are. So I'm just going to click yes, 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 yes. And all of a sudden, it's connected to my entire environment. So education and training here will not really help. You need to have real-time monitoring in scale in order to detect it and then to act upon it. The training is good for phishing, for voice phishing, for those kind of things that it's really up to me, and it's a single point of failure. But unfortunately, for the usage of AI, we see that training is not so effective, and monitoring in real time, in scale, is dramatically more effective.
Okay, good to know. Well, what are some of the data exposure risks that would come out of not having proper governance and visibility into the AI tools?
Yeah. So the number one, let's again start from the business. The number one value for me for a new AI, Gen AI tool is the connectivity. It connects to so many pieces of data. It makes me a superhero. I can find whatever I need. I can create dashboards with 10 different systems. That's amazing. So the main challenge is those tools get a lot of permissions into my most sensitive data. Otherwise, they will not be efficient. And by connecting those tools to so many pieces of data across the entire company, across hundreds of tools, now you have a real problem that each piece of data can be basically exposed in many, many, many more ways than ever before. It's not only about you and me. There are AI agents, like in Salesforce, like in many others. There are like non-human identities as well. So the probability for a data to be exposed today when everything is interconnected is dramatically higher than ever before.
Absolutely, it sure is. So as this technology accelerates, it's advancing rapidly. So as generative AI especially accelerates, how do you see the role of CISOs transforming over the next year or two?
Yeah, I can start from an example from a CISO. We just signed. It's a big company in California, and I met with the CISO and asked him, why did you sign with us? It's always interesting for me. Is it because of a specific breach? Is it? And he said, what do you mean? This is a business enablement project. I said, Tom, again, you're a CISO. You are a security person. The business is running on SaaS and AI. We have a goal of 70 to 80% of our business running on those tools. And for the first time, I have the ability to support the business proactively versus reactively. So that's the biggest thing I think CISOs can do right now. Become proactive understand the business, be as fast as the business in order to help them grow faster and securely at the same time.
Got it. Yeah, I think we're all wearing a little bit more hats these days.
Yeah, yeah. And again, the modern business today that will not utilize AI in a smart way, that will not use those Gen AI tools, will be left behind. So there's no option whether I'm going to use it as a business or not. It's a fact. Now you need to support it.
Certainly. Well, if there was one key takeaway you could leave our audience with today, what would that be?
I think the main thing that still differentiates those forward thinkers than the rest, as much as we hear, is you need to endorse the pain or the problem and to understand that if you will continue business first blindfolded, you will get hit. You will get hit by data exposure, you will get hit by the governance, you will get hit by breaches. The only way to secure the growth, the fast growth of your business, to get the visibility and security for the main key values of your business, which is SaaS and AI that is embedded within.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your tips and insights with our audience today.
Thank you so much. And if you are interested to hear more, please visit us at reco.ai. We're happy to show you how it works.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thanks to our listeners. Stay tuned. There's more.